Welcome back to What Matters This Week. I'm Lauren Maloney. Joining me now is Elaine Wang, the Winooski City Manager, brand new on the job, a couple of weeks. How are you?
I'm great, loving it.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, good.
Easiest question out of the way first. How was
Sure.
the big centennial celebration?
Oh, it was so great. Staff put in so much time. Of course, we had the Centennial Celebration Committee that exercised great leadership. So many vendors came out from the city. We had all of our homegrown, a bunch of our homegrown.
Yeah.
Restaurants came out, offered free samples, delicious. Musical acts, all homegrown. It was such a great time. And beautiful weather. It was so nice to see big old cross-section of the community all in one place having a great time.
Okay. So you are pretty new to Winooski. You were the assistant town manager for Barrytown previously. Why Winooski and why now for you?
Yes, so what was exciting to me about Winooski now is, frankly, the U.S. Census data. So I identify as BIPOC. Not everybody likes that term, so unless you are BIPOC yourself and using it yourself, maybe try not to use it on others. I do like to use it because it indicates solidarity to me. So BIPOC, for those of you who don't know, means Black, Indigenous, or people of color, or perhaps all three of those. So as a BIPOC person who's already in local government, the U.S. Census for Winooski showed that it's I think it was about 25% BIPOC. That is for Vermont and actually for New England an extremely high percentage. So the city was looking for somebody with some lived experience and or expertise in terms of engaging a diverse population in local government. And as someone who's already in local government, who has lived experience in Vermont, I've been in Vermont for 17 years. It's an issue that is near and dear to my heart. So to have that opportunity to serve not just, of course, the BIPOC population in Winooski, but the wider population with my other experience working in local government and all over Vermont on environmental issues, it was just such a great opportunity to combine those interests and skill sets and experiences.
Let's talk about city government because, you know, you mentioned nonprofit work when you first arrived in Vermont. So is there a good linear connection from nonprofit to city government? What made you do that jump?
Oh, I love that question. So I was in nonprofit work for environmental protection, where a lot of what I was doing was basically advocating or educating or helping people understand what they could do to be better environmental stewards. And the thing about that is we would often say where the rubber meets the road is in local government. You have control over a lot of infrastructure that shapes people's choices in terms of, say, their transportation. If you've only got roads everywhere without any bike lanes, it's hard to get around other than in a car. If your housing is developed and scattered about, it's hard for you not to have a car. A lot of Vermont is like that. Or some of it is just like saving energy. Municipal government is a decent user of energy. We're running wastewater treatment plants, water treatment plants, we have buildings. All those things are energy users. So how can we do that more green? A lot of what I was doing was trying to encourage folks running facilities and infrastructure to think about a greener option. And the thing is, you know, when you're advocating for over a decade like I was, and you're not sure if you're having an impact, you hope you are, sometimes you're not. Sometimes at some point, at least for me, it's like, maybe I'll just go do that job myself. I'm not gonna try and talk anyone into it, I'm just gonna go do it. And
Okay.
the impact is not as wide, right? I can't interact with all these municipalities anymore. But at least I know over long term, I wanted that accountability locally where someone can look at me and say, you said you were gonna do this last year and it's not done, what's going on? I wanted that long-term relationship with the community. So that's what made me ready to explore a career in local government. And I was fortunate that Barrytown took a chance on me because I did not have local government experience directly before then. So that was my first entree.
What has Vermont taught you, I guess, about those on-the-job experiences then?
What has Vermont taught me? That's an interesting question. So the way I would answer that actually, so I'm gonna talk about the BIPOC experience for a minute. So I grew up in Northern California in the San Francisco Bay Area. Lots of people of color, lots of Asians, lots of Chinese. I'm Chinese American. I was born here in the United States. big Chinese American community. Here, there's maybe a few of us. And then there's a few black people, and there's a few indigenous people, a few Abenaki people, a few Latino people. I mean, it's actually not a few, but it feels like a few when you're scattered across a really rural state. Vermont's given me the excuse to develop solidarity and relationships across a whole bunch of ethnic groups, which I'm not sure I would have done on my own without that pressure of a very white environment where I felt very isolated in some ways culturally. And it's not that anyone's trying to be mean, you know. I've actually found a lot of folks in Vermont to be very friendly. But feeling, people being friendly to you and you feeling like part of the community, like you belong there, are two very different things. And so having that opportunity, again, in Winooski to be like, I don't know exactly what it's like for you, you know, Somali refugee, immigrant. I don't know what it's exactly like for you, you know, Somali, Nepali, some of our Arabic-speaking neighbors, but I have some basis to understand that experience. My parents were immigrants to this country. I'm a BIPOC Vermonter. So all those pieces coming together, it's a great opportunity to bring that perspective into City Hall and say, okay, what can we be doing at every level, from every department, to make everyone feel like this place is going to work for them, this place is for you, and we're here with you.
You mentioned some of the new Americans that Winooski has as a community, and you mentioned equity and inclusion as well. Have you talked to enough of people in the Onion City yet to really get a handle on maybe what the city is lacking, or what maybe should be your first order of business?
Right, that's a great question. So the beauty of Winooski is that they have a clear commitment to equity work. We're trying to figure it out just like everyone's trying to figure it out. But Winooski is quite a bit ahead in front of some other Vermont communities, because there is that motivational force of like, oh, we clearly have a racially at least diverse population, we needed to be addressing this. So they went through, recently finished an equity audit led by the equity director, Yasmin Gordon, and that came out with great practical recommendations, but also a roadmap. Mm-hmm. So there's a whole menu of things there that we know we need to work on. So some of those things, and some of it is feels very simple, but is foundational. So relationship building. I'm not telling anyone in local government what they don't already know, but building those relationships with each of the communities, and not just like the community as if it's one thing, but you know, with individuals in that community, mm-hmm. helps you understand, okay, what is really your perspective on what's needed here? So here's what seems like a very simple thing. We have a building called the O'Brien Community Center. Mm-hmm. It used to be available for public events, and it was used extensively. Several of our ethnic communities who have formed associations or have, you know, ad hoc groups see it as their space. For a bunch of reasons I won't go into, those spaces haven't been available for public meetings. So one of the first meetings I had with an organized group of from our ethnic communities said, we need a space for our adult leaders to gather so that they can arrange for things to happen. We need a space for our teenagers to gather because there's nothing left in Winooski for them to do. So in terms of like the teenager piece, that's a bit more complicated, but offering up meeting room spaces so that they can do what they're already doing, mm-hmm. except better, is such a simple thing, but it's so important. And being able to just reach out and say, okay, yes, this is something that we can do, we can figure this out. You build that trust, then there's like, okay, she delivered on this, the city delivered on this, let's talk about the next thing. Now we've got some relationship there. And you know, it's not to say that previous staff and existing staff haven't done some of that work, but because of the pandemic, there were some challenges and there's been a break. So I'm excited to rekindle that work with the staff and then have those connections with the community.
Anyone driving through Winooski can see some of the new housing developments that have gone up in the last year, 2 years. Is this enough? As a whole, the state is under quite a housing crisis right now. Are you still hearing that it is as big of an issue that we're hearing and feeling as well?
Yes, and it is maybe bigger, because we have a lot of demand in Winooski, and I imagine in Burlington as well, for multi-bedroom units. So a lot of the beautiful new housing, we're so thankful to have it, is for relatively well-off folks. Yes, 1 or 2 bedrooms, maybe even studios, which is wonderful, but we need that mix to serve our bigger families. That
multi-generational families.
Multi-generational, also just like they have more children, bigger families, 8, 9 kids. That's not atypical. So we need to be developing more housing for all of our neighbors.
Short-term goals, Elaine, moving forward, do you have a list?
Yeah, so short-term goals include figuring out the meeting space issue. But yes, we also have some great building blocks that started before I got there, and we've got to carry them over the finish line and then really continue with them. So, for example, the Housing Trust Fund, it's not enough money. It's about $350,000 right now, but it's a great start. There's a great foundation there. Adding more money to it is an easier lift than starting from scratch. So that's a great building block that we need to be implementing, that trust fund, and then the application process and getting the word out so that people understand how to access it.
Is there anything else that you want our viewers to know about what you could bring to the city, your leadership style, or just about your hopes for Winooski?
Yeah, so I've been saying to the city council and to the team that until we reach a point where anyone in the city feels like they could come to anyone on staff or any of the commissioners or any of the councilors and know that that person understands how to work with them. Until that point, I hope they will see me as the Chief Customer Service Officer. So if they have any question or any concern, I want them to come, and they're not sure where to go, I'm here for that.
Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Appreciate the opportunity.
We'll be right back on What Matters This Week.